Local news that matters. This is CBS 17 News.
A side effect of the Moderna vaccine.
I was shocked to see that it was red and it was swollen.
Why you could see a large rash on your arm and what to do before getting your second shot. We're getting answers.
I have been looking online and making phone calls.
CBS 17 helping you get vaccinated. A list of places where you can sign up for an appointment. No traditional proms this year. What are local schools doing to celebrate graduating seniors? We're digging deeper.
And now, your forecast first from the CBS 17 Storm Team.
Well, the last time we saw measurable rain in Raleigh was March 1st. That changes tomorrow as rain showers arrive through the overnight hours, and it'll be a wet start to the day tomorrow. We'll be in the upper 30s to begin your Tuesday. Not really going much further as we head towards the afternoon hours. We'll try and make it back into the middle 40s across a good portion of central North Carolina. That, though, really is about it for us tomorrow. And then we also watch Thursday. That's when our second storm system arrives this week, and this one could have a severe weather threat. We'll show you when we can expect this system to arrive and when we return to the 70s in just a few minutes.
Now, breaking news from CBS 17 News.
Thanks for watching tonight. I'm Angela Taylor. We start with breaking news tonight out of Cary. CBS 17's Imani Payne live tonight. Imani, tell us what's going on. What have you found out?
Yeah, well, we just arrived here on Cary Glen Boulevard here in Cary. As you can see, still an active scene here. You can see that yellow tape is still up. So far, police tell us they were called to a McDonald's here in this shopping plaza just before 10 p.m. tonight for a report of a person shot. Now, we've seen a few squad cars driving up and down the street and parked in this area. We've also seen officers using dogs to search around the area. Right now, officers are circling the small section behind the McDonald's investigating. Now, we don't yet know the condition of that person shot or who shot them. We also don't know what happened leading up to this shooting. We are still waiting for more details from police, but we will bring you updates as they become available. For now, we're live in Cary. Imani Payne, CBS 17 News.
All right, Imani, thank you. And we do have a sad update tonight. Trooper Brent Montgomery has passed away from COVID-19 complications. The North Carolina Highway Patrol called Montgomery a true warrior. He was diagnosed with COVID-19 February 1st and eventually put on a ventilator and then life support. The trooper leaves behind his wife, Heather, and their 3 children. Arrangements related to Brent's celebration of life ceremony will be provided in the near future.
I was shocked to see that it was red and it was swollen in a rather large area.
Surprising side effects after the second dose of the vaccine. Maggie Newland will have more on those effects coming up. But first, we go to CBS 17's Amy Cutler. Amy, you found out it's easy to find vaccine doses if you're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and that's certainly the case, Angela, when it comes to Walgreens. At the end of the day, you can come in, and if they have any available doses, they can give you one. It doesn't happen every day or at every location, but it's certainly something worth checking into. Eligible for a vaccine and looking to set up an appointment, there are 2 websites to check out. First, the state's myshot.nc.gov. You can type in your zip code and a list of providers pops up, but it doesn't appear to include all of them. The CDC website directs you to vaccinefinder.org. It includes more providers and the specific vaccines they have, but make sure it says in stock. Some of those that say out of stock haven't come online yet. People also sharing information on sites like Nextdoor.
It was amazing.
Leslie Samet learned you could stop in at Walgreens and leave your name and number. At the end of the day, if they have a dose available, they'll call. And they did, just 3 hours later.
Relax now.
My phone rolling as Samet got her shot. It took just seconds.
Ultimately ended up to be no big deal, but it was hard getting here.
Others also sharing tips.
Got the number from UNC, the website, and called in and waited about maybe an hour and a half. Got on and they were able to schedule me an appointment. So once you're on, it's fairly quick.
I went onto Facebook.
Leah Rudder explaining how she got her parents, both in their 80s, appointments. She liked every health department in our area. She found out about a system crash that led to extended hours. Her parents finally got through. Yeah, lots of success stories out there. I want to mention that we continue to reach out to the state for a full list of providers that they are sending vaccine to. We still haven't heard back. We have got a whole lot of resources, including vaccine providers, on our website. Just head to CBS17.com. Live in Raleigh, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.
Certainly glad to see people being able to make appointments. Amy, thank you. We know COVID vaccines can come with side effects, but most people figure a few days after the shot, they're in the clear. But a small number of people are seeing a rash appear on their arm, sometimes more than a week after the vaccine. CBS 17's Maggie Newland is digging deeper into what's being called COVID arm. Maggie.
Angela, these vaccines are so new to all of us, and as we start to get shots and our families and friends get shots, we're seeing how different people respond to the vaccines. My mom actually had one of these rare reactions, and I wanted to find out more about it because it could happen to anyone.
I'm going to go see.
Like many families these days, visits are virtual. So my parents were excited to become eligible for the COVID vaccine.
I got the Moderna vaccine on February 27th.
My mom's minor arm pain disappeared in a day or two.
I didn't expect any other side effects after that until the second shot.
But 15 days after her first dose, she woke up to this on the arm where she received the vaccine.
I was shocked to see that it was red and it was swollen in a rather large area.
It almost looks like you got bit by a spider.
UNC infectious disease specialist Dr. David Wohl says the rare reaction, which is sometimes called COVID arm or Moderna arm, is not dangerous.
It seems to be a local reaction of the immune system. The idea behind this vaccine is it's made to provoke a reaction. Like, we want this to be a vaccine that really wakes up the immune system.
He says it's not clear why the reaction is often delayed. According to the CDC, it can appear a few days to more than a week after the first shot, and it should not deter people from getting their second dose.
I assume you're still planning to go get your second dose when it's...
Yes, I absolutely am, although I am a little bit more nervous about it.
Dr. Wohl says there's no need to be nervous.
Don't mistake this for like, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm going to get really sick if I take another one of these vaccines. It isn't. In fact, most people don't get it again, and it goes away.
And while the second shot may bring side effects, it should also eventually bring benefits.
I'm going to go see my grandchildren, I hope.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to. Now, Dr. Wohl says most people who have this reaction with the first dose, they don't necessarily get it again with the second dose. And if they do, it will go away on its own. He does suggest, though, if you do have this reaction, you should get your second dose in the opposite arm. Reporting live, Maggie Newland, CBS 17 News.
Maggie, we're glad your mom is okay, and we appreciate her sharing that story. If you want to report any side effects or adverse reactions to a COVID-19, grab your phone right now, open the camera, and scan the QR code there on your screen. We've linked it to Maggie's story and the government's reporting system. If you missed this, we'll put this QR up again as we head to break. New at 11, Harnett County students will be the next bunch to return to in-person learning. Middle and high school students will return to 5-day in-person learning on April 19th. Elementary students will continue to transition to 5 days a week on March 22nd. This is what graduation looked like for most of the class of 2020. So what about this year? New at 11, Wake County says graduation will happen on a smaller scale, and other high school rituals like prom won't look like they usually do. Wake County says graduation for this year's seniors will be held in the school stadium at most schools. They can accommodate a maximum 30% capacity. Wake County high schools will not be able to host traditional proms, but each school will host an event to safely celebrate graduating seniors. As we head into the spring break season, air travel is starting to take off at RDU. The airport says last week it saw the second highest number of passengers since the pandemic began, falling behind the week between Christmas and New Year's. But health experts say the biggest risk for COVID isn't on the plane or even at the airport. It's what happens when you get to your destination.
If you're going to just visit a couple of immunized people and you and your immediate loved ones have been immunized, that's probably safe. But if where you're going to be in large groups, not wear a mask, other people not wearing a mask, that's the risky activity.
And it seems like video of spring breakers in Texas sparking concern for the director of the CDC. He says we could see a resurgence of the virus if safety measures aren't followed before more people get vaccinated. For now, students at Duke have nowhere to go. There is no spring break, and the university ordered a stay-in-place order for all undergrads. As of today, more than 220 students have either tested positive for COVID within the last week or are in isolation waiting on their results. Another 200 are under quarantine based on contact tracing. This is the largest number of positive tests and quarantines since the pandemic began. The university says a majority of these cases are linked to unsanctioned frat parties. Students say it's frustrating.
It's hit the campus kind of like a freight train. It's like last semester when all of us were isolated. The majority of us weren't even on campus last semester, and so we really cherished the opportunity to be back. And now for the actions of a few students, we're all suffering again.
So the lockdown will be in place until at least Sunday, but they will take a look at the trends later this week to see when it's safe to lift it. State health officials say COVID-19 vaccinations could be open to the entire adult population even sooner than May 1st. That's the goal President Biden set up for states. Well, this week, Group 4 is eligible to get the vaccine. Today, Dr. Mandy Cohen toured the mass vaccination site in Greensboro run by FEMA. She didn't give a timeline on how long it would take to vaccinate that entire group, but said the state is moving in the right direction.
The good news is we're moving in the right direction. We see that light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get us all in line to get our vaccines, but masks to protect each other until everyone has their chance to get their shot.
Now, Dr. Cohen did not give a specific date for when everyone would be eligible. Glenwood South Pharmacy is one of the lucky small retail pharmacies that received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They're part of the Wake County Community Vaccine Program, which gives small providers access to vaccines. The pharmacy manager said they've received 400 doses in the last 2 weeks, and each time their appointments are filled within just a few hours. They currently have a wait list of 200 people and expect that number to reach 500 to 600 by Friday.
What I would like to see is our state officials and our federal officials recognizing pharmacies as a place that people would like to get their vaccines administered. I know that to be true.
He said they're hoping to get approved for a state program which would allow them to vaccinate all restaurant employees and hotel workers on Glenwood South. All right, let's talk about those temperatures outside because, Brian, it's a little bit chilly out there.
Just a little bit, much different compared to what we saw this weekend, and we're getting colder. We stay in the 40s tomorrow with rain showers around, especially in the morning, but we start rebounding on Wednesday before our next system gets here. I'll show you how much rain you can expect tomorrow in just a few minutes.
Across the state, COVID-19 numbers are dropping, but do all the numbers add up? We're digging deeper to find out. And as promised, here's that QR code to take you to the page to report side effects or adverse reactions to the COVID-19 vaccine. Grab your phone right now, just open the camera and you scan the QR code on your screen. We've linked it to Maggie's story and the government's reporting system. You're watching CBS 17 News, covering local news that matters.